In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to conduct keyword research for your Google Ads campaigns in less than 10 minutes. So before I jump into exactly how to do it, I want to talk a little bit about what keyword research is and why it's important. So what is keyword research? Keyword research is the process of identifying what keywords your ideal client is searching for on Google that relate to your product. So through keyword research, you can identify what search queries get searched frequently and make the most sense for you to bid on so you can get qualified conversions. So think of the search queries as your targeting in advertising. If you're not targeting the right search terms, then you're not going to get the right people seeing your ad or the right people who are going to convert on your website. So identifying the right keywords to bid on is actually probably the most important part of your Google Ads campaign. So this step is super important. So why is it important? So there's kind of two things. One is if you're going to put search terms into Google Ads to target, then you want to make sure they have enough search volume. So if you think something is being searched a lot, but it's not, you haven't checked, there might be a possibility that this keyword just isn't being searched by people. People just don't use it. So if there's no volume, no one's searching for it, then your ad's not going to have the chance to show up and you're not going to really book any demos. But the second thing is, as I mentioned before, is really making sure you're targeting the right people. So through the phrases, you can get a understanding of if people are actively looking for software, if they're actually searching for what you offer, and different search terms kind of identify different people's intentions of what they're searching for. So by identifying the high intent keywords, keywords that show that people are actively looking to buy or evaluate software, that's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck and where you're going to get the most qualified conversions. So this is a crucial step. Again, this is really the targeting that you're going to do with your ads. And if you're targeting the wrong people, then it doesn't matter how good your ads are. It doesn't matter how good your landing pages are. It doesn't matter how good your products are. You're just not going to get the right people to be requesting demos on your website. So how do you actually do this? It's actually pretty simple. I've been doing this for years and I've broken it down into a very simple framework that you can do in less than 10 minutes. And you can find all the keywords that are high intent, that are most likely the ones that your audience are searching, so that you can actually bid on keywords that are going to get you a high return. So the first thing you want to do is you want to use a keyword research tool. So these tools are able to, you can plug in search terms, you can plug in websites and see what keywords they're ranking for, and you can get a good understanding of what keywords people are searching, how much they're getting searched on a monthly basis, and how competitive they are and all that stuff. So there's a bunch of tools out there. Ones that I like are Ahrefs, SEMrush, Moz. I'm currently using SpyFu. All of them are good and will give you good estimates of what keywords your audience are searching as it relates to your product, and what type of search volume you can see on a monthly basis. The second thing you're going to do is once you get one of those keyword research tools, you're going to plug in the following URLs to find the right keywords. You're going to plug in a G2 category review page, a Capterra category review page, your competitor's website URLs, and then your URL. So let me explain why these URLs are so important. So G2 and Capterra. If you're not familiar with these websites, they're basically software review sites, and they have specific categories for certain software categories. And they're very popular. They have incredibly high domain authority, meaning they rank very easily in SEO. So if your product falls directly into a category on G2 or Capterra, most likely what that means is there's a lot of search volume there. These companies do not create these pages unless they are seeing a lot of search volume for a specific type of software. So typically if you're already in a category or you fit in one really well, plugging in these websites are going to get you all the high intent keywords right away. If you have this is the easiest way to find the right keywords for your Google Ads campaigns. The second thing is sometimes it isn't always the case that you have a direct category page on one of these review sites. So the next best thing to do is to plug in your direct competitors. Again, these are probably because they're similar to your software. Anything they're ranking for most likely is also going to fit your business as well. And then lastly, you want to just plug in your own URL. A lot of times you're already ranking for keywords that fit your description. And Google as a search engine is always trying to categorize things as best as it can so that it's providing the best experience to its users. So typically, because your website describes your product, Google is already categorizing you in keywords that it feels like are the best fit for you. And you might not be on the first page yet, but you could be on the second, third, fourth. A lot of times these tools will reveal that, and you'll be able to get a good sense of what are the right tools you should be showing up for. So once you're pulling these keywords, the next thing you want to do is you want to filter for high intent phrases. So this is super important. High intent search phrases are phrases that indicate that someone is either looking to buy software or they're looking to evaluate it. And the way you can notice that is if you see words in the search phrase like app, tool, platform, software, services, products, companies, these are people actively looking for a software solution. So let me give you an example. The example I'm going to show you is a company that sells equity management software. If someone just types in equity management into Google, that search does not indicate that somebody is actively looking to evaluate software. They could be searching for anything. They could be searching to learn what equity management is. They could be looking for best practices around equity management. They're most likely not ready yet to actually evaluate an equity management software. Now, if someone types in equity management tool, equity management software, they're clearly looking for that software. They're looking for the vendors that exist. They're looking to understand more about the software in general. They're much more highly likely to be actually looking to evaluate software. So when they see your ad, there's a much higher chance that they're going to want to request a demo on your website. And for that reason, you're going to have much higher conversion rates on those keywords. So this is super important. This is probably the biggest key to success in Google Ads, in my opinion, when it comes to SaaS software. And then lastly, you've looked at all the keywords, you filtered for high intent. You just want to check to make sure the keywords are relevant. And this might be obvious, but the thing that is super important is you really want to be confident that whatever keyword you're thinking of bidding on, you're almost 100% confident if someone who searched that saw your ad and saw your website, they would be happy with their search. So a lot of times people want to stretch for keywords. They want to say, I think that might describe us. Maybe if someone searched that, they'd want to come on they'd want to request a demo of our site. More often than not, that never works, at least in my experience. And so you really want to be clear and specific with the keywords that you're bidding on. So you're really confident that if someone searched that, they'd be searching for your platform and want to learn more about it. So those are the 4 steps. Pretty simple. So now what I want to do is I just want to do an example to show you how this works in real life. So we're going to do an example for an equity management software company that I actually used to work for called Diligent Equity. So again, it's an equity management software, which essentially is cap table management software. It's when startups give out equity to investors, to employees. It's basically a software that just manages all of it, shows who owns what, and kind of keeps a system of record. So what I would do if I were doing keyword research for Google Ads for this brand is I would go to SpyFu or the keyword research tool of choice, and I would first go to the review pages if they have them. So I'd check Capterra and G2 Crowd. So luckily, and I know this obviously because I worked for this company, there are clear category pages on Capterra and G2. And another good thing to do is to look at the competitors in the category and to check if you recognize them. So like these guys were someone we competed a lot with. Carter was the big player in the space. Right. I'm seeing the right things here. And again, this is a really good example. This isn't always the case with every business, but there's a clear category page. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in both of these keywords into the keyword research tool. So I'm just going to do one for time's sake. But if I look at the organic keywords, you can see all of these keywords that they're showing up for that relate exactly to our software. Equity management solutions, perfect. Equity software, not the best, but we'll keep it. Stock option management software. So you're seeing different variations of a similar keyword. So these are all important to test, right? To see what actually gets the best conversions, what gets the right people for your business. Stock plan administration. And as you'll see, actually I should have done this ahead of time, but you'll see a lot of these are high intent, right? They say software, platform, solutions. So what we should do is actually filter by platform, software, app, tool. And let me just do a few for an example, and then what I'll do is I'll add them to my project. Okay, so I would do this for both Capterra and G2. I'm just going to do Capterra for the example. So the next thing I do is I would go to a competitor. So these guys, Carta, they're the number one competitor in the space. They're the big guy. And what I'd recommend is trying to do a few competitors, but really starting with the biggest one. The biggest one, the one who's been there the longest, most likely has the most website visitors. They're most likely ranking for the most keywords in Google. So you're probably going to get the best results from the person who's the leader in your space if it's not you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in Carta to the tool. I'm going to plug in filter for the high intent keywords, software, app, platform. Oops, spelled platform wrong. And tool. And you can see here, there's a few other keywords that we didn't get with the review sites. So cap table software, very good. Cap table management, stock option tracking, equity platform, stock option software. Let's add these to the list. And then last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my URL and plug it in. Again, to just see if there's anything I'm missing or anything I'm already showing up for that Google is telling me is actually a good keyword that describes my brand. So let's plug in the high intent keywords, software, tool, app, platform. So a few more here, stock portfolio management software. That's actually probably not, that's not a good one actually. Software to manage stock portfolio, not good. Anyway, so you can see here that we already picked up a bunch of the ones that we're ranking for. But again, this is a really good example, like one where Google Ads SEO makes a lot of sense. And you might not be getting as much as I am right now. So again, this is a good option. Cool. So that's how I would do it. And then, so now if I look at all the keywords, I can export this. I have all these great keywords that I can start testing on Google Ads, all high intent, all really good. And I can start testing to see which ones actually bring in conversions and qualify conversions. So that's pretty much it. That's how you do it. And again, super simple. It can take less than 10 minutes and it can really put you in the right place to actually drive qualified conversions from the start. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please reach out. But I hope now you know how to do keyword research and you can get a lot of success with your Google Ads campaigns.